and welcome to this week's episode of Dadas Show, coming to you from Best Western Hotel, Upper Hill here in Nairobi. I'm your host, Ashiko Mbune. Now, Mashujaa Day is a day that is celebrated every year and is set aside to honor and to acknowledge our forefathers who fought for our independence. They lost their lives, blood, sweat, and tears for us to be able to enjoy the freedom that we enjoy right now. Over the years, the term Shujaa has morphed to mean certain things, but all in all, it means somebody who is selfless, somebody who makes sacrifices, somebody who is inspiring, somebody who goes out of their way to make sure that their fellow Kenyan is living a good life. So it could be doctors, it could be teachers, it could even be your parent, or it could be a sportswoman, a woman who has worked hard and toiled, used her skill and has been able to put Kenya on the map in the field of athletics. We'll celebrate her. This formidable woman continues to inspire us, and today on Dada's show, we are honoring her. We are celebrating her and the milestones that she has been able to achieve throughout her career. Now, remember, you can always reach us across all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me personally on my social media platforms at Ashiko the host. I'm looking forward to your feedback, not only on this show and on any other show that we have aired before. Do you have a topic that you'd want us to touch? So let's have a look at the following feature.
Mashujaa Day, also known as Heroes Day, is celebrated on 20th October annually. The day is marked by honoring people demonstrating national values, spiritual leadership, cultural values and practices, arts, sports, peacemaking, among others. We caught up with Mr. Wambia, CEO, National Hero Council, to help us understand the role of National Hero Council and the selection process of heroes.
The Heroes Council, the Act came into place sometime since 2014, and the Act is number 5 of 2014, and which establishes the Heroes Act, and then it also provides for the mandate to see that we look at issue of identifying heroes, develop the criteria for identifying heroes, and also create criteria. Through the criteria we nominate them and honor them. The process of identifying heroes is properly articulated in our Act under Section 22, which gives the process through which. But beyond that, there is also a schedule which guides the honoring of heroes. The Schedule 1 has 14 categories. Maybe just to share a few, we have the category for liberation freedom fighters, which is very key, because this takes the veterans, the Mau Maus and all that. Then we have a category for sports, very key in this country because we are a country of sportsmen and women. We have a category of the artist, another growing up area, issues of artists are becoming a very big thing even for our youth in the current time because it's a growing thing, it's the in thing. We also have philanthropists, people who have supported in different areas. We have academicians, which falls under state mountain professional studies. We have environmentalists and conservation, which falls into one other category, and many other more.
Criteria used to select individuals has improved in the last years, leading to more public participation.
We are trying to reach the public. I know there's something we have not done very, very critical in terms of public awareness, but the beginning we have started, first of all, to ensure that we publicize our call for heroes. We make sure we make a call on a newspaper, and actually we do MyGov so that we inform the public that can you nominate somebody within an area which falls within the 14 categories. So this information goes to the public through media. And in fact, in the current period this year, we've received a lot of communication because we did it public, sometimes back in August, we communicated it out, and people responded very well. So we are changing from the previous one. The previous was simply write to so-and-so and give us so-and-so. We write to the county commissioner, we write to different disciplines. But now we look at those categories. Sometimes where we go and we want specific institutions to participate is like in sports. We would wish now, because sports has different institutions, we might wish even them to nominate people whom they know under those institutions. We have NOC, we have the Athletic Kenya, we have the Sports Commission. So we also involve them directly, apart from the the public notice we put on newspapers. So we try very much to widen our scope through which we can reach people so that we can get a liberal, open mind from more people to help us, our team, sit down.
Universal health coverage is at the forefront of this year's Mashujaa Day celebration as the government targets to ensure affordable, quality health care for all.
The government is looking at a way of promoting universal health care coverage, and they're using a theme to unite also with the celebration for Mashujaa as an escalating point.
Mr. Wambia urged women in all sectors to nominate fellow women for the Mashujaa Day list. The National Hero Council faces a number of challenges and critiques from the public as some Kenyans tend to disagree with the list of heroes.
For the first time, I want to tell you, we've had a lot of positive critique because we went to people. Yeah. By calling for the nomination, we went to people, and people saw something new which has never been done before. So for the first few days, I think maybe we are having positive critique. But we have also been sharing with people doing our strategic plan movement outside in different regions. And we get a feeler of what the public wants us to do. In our process of creating, as one of our functions is create awareness and facilitate the public to understand what we do, which is a very key domain functions we have, we shall be also listening to the public to tell us what is their thinking. And when we listen to them, I think we sit back, brainstorm, and look at how best we can serve Kenyans.
This year, Mashujaa Day is held at Kericho County as Head of Public Service Felix Koskei announced.
The choice of Kericho is by the leadership, but I will explain why Kericho in a different aspect, because when the regime, the last regime, when under the President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think he came up with celebration to move out from Nairobi, so that some of this national celebration be done outside, so that even other counties can get a feel of it. One thing which drives it also is the aspect of devolution, and also it was a way also to bring national issues at the devolved function levels. And I think it is working very well. I know it has been done in Machakos, it has been done in Kakamega, it has been done in Mombasa. And it has a very key growth to those environments. They see what they've only been seeing happening in Nairobi. Now these things are happening to them.
For Dadas Show, my name is Miriam Asava. Happy Mashujaa Day.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Dadas Show Mashujaa special. And as I mentioned before the break, we are joined by an exceptional lady, a lady who has paved the way for so many female athletes in our country, a lady who has put Kenya in the global map and given us recognition through her athletic prowess. So ladies and gentlemen, you at home and even in my audience, I am honored to invite the legendary Catherine Dereba. Thank you so much, Catherine. I am literally starstruck. I don't know if you guys can tell the way I've turned pink, maroon, purple in quick progression. I mean, this is somebody I grew up watching you. I grew up standing, and when they would announce Kenya 1, 2, 3, and the national flag would play, I would have such a moment of patriotism and inspiration. Despite anything that was going on, we always knew that we were safe, we were well represented. Of course, I cannot fail to acknowledge my wonderful audience, who take time day in, day out, week in, week out, to come and sit with me as we interact with certain topics and certain conversations. They contribute, they inspire me as well. So karibuni sana. Now, to get the ball rolling, Catherine, karibu sana. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We feel so honored to have you here with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, from where you started, from how you grew, tell us your history. Give us your history till maybe where you are right now.
Okay, well, we are talking of 1972 up to 2023.
Yes,
I don't know how long that would take me to do that.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll try my best.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I would like to say that I was born, my name is Catherine Dereba, and I'm a third born in a family of 10, 9 surviving.
Yes.
And I was born in the central part of Kenya, in a small village called Gatunganga. It is in Mathira West, and in Nyeri County. I went to school like any other kid, though my life was a bit different because I didn't start with the kindergarten or the nursery school, so I started from class 1. Why? It's because I used to babysit my siblings. So the years passed, and when my parents just remembered, it was like, she's already 7 years, so she has to go to school. And that's how I added to class 1. And in fact, I was taken by my cousin, one of my first cousins, Beatrice Wabui Kabugi. She said, tomorrow we are going to school. Yes, and she went like, tutaenda shule ya watu wakumbwa. And I was like, wow, what an exciting moment. I have to go to school. And well, I knew how to write, and you know, I could spell my name and all that. But unfortunately, the only letter that was giving me a lot of difficulties to write, it was the small r.
Yes.
So you see, my name is Catherine Nyambura Dereba. And now when I do my R, I was not able to write them like this. I was writing them like this. No, the opposite.
Yes.
So anyway, that was okay. But now the teacher taught me how to do it right and all that. So I went through the primary school years, and when I was in standard 4, we started running.
Yes.
And I was so excited, first of all, when I got to class 4. Why? It's because I could go to school and stay in school from morning to the evening.
Yes.
And I could go home for hot lunch and then come back to school.
Yes.
So I could not wait for that time. And in fact, I felt like my longest year was when I was in class 3, because I waited for this moment.
Yeah.
And I was really longing for that moment. And I thank God that now I got to class 4. So now I started going for lunch at home, and the lunch break was only 1 hour. So I could use my 30 minutes to go home and 30 minutes to get back. As I was doing that, I didn't know that I was in the making, you know, of what I came to do later. And this was that my home was like 2 miles away from school. So I had to run back and forth, back and forth. So meaning if I do 2 miles to school and 2 miles to go back for hot lunch, and 2 miles to go back to school, and 2 miles to get back at home. Now you can tell the average.
The kind of, the distance that you were doing. Yeah.
So that tells you I developed some mileage without knowing.
At a very young age.
At a very young age. So, and I believe I came to run this just later when I was trying to do the marathon. And I learned that because when I could try to run the cross country, I was good. And I could afford to beat like everybody, every lady in my school, you know, as a standard 4, a standard 5, you know, student.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, fine. So I kept on doing it. And when I was in 5th grade, my sports teacher or my class teacher started telling me, you know, Catherine, when you go and win for us, you know, you win for us. So once you win, on Monday morning, just come to the office. There must be a reward for you. And I started getting rewards. I keep on getting rewards. And I get motivated. So I knew for a little that if I go and I represent my school, definitely there is something out of that.
Yes.
And mostly the awards that I used to get was books, piles of books, and pencils. And when I could get that, since that time, by that time I used to buy the books, I could not buy, I could have enough to share with my siblings.
Yeah.
So my high school was kind of far because it was in a different town.
Yes.
So, and I had to go there because there was no other
And
school
it's a day
there.
school?
It is a day school.
So you, and there are time constraints, so you have to run back.
Yes, I have to run.
You have to run to and fro.
If that's not the case, I have to wake up very early. Yeah, I could leave my house as early as 6. If I chance to leave at 6:30, I'll be late for
You'll
school
be late,
because it took me a whole hour to get to school.
Wow.
So now, because I don't want to have issues with the school rules, I had to run to keep the time.
Yes.
And I had to make sure, even when I get to school, I have to stay clean and all that. So what I used to do is that I used to use my old canvas shoes so that I don't mind even when it gets dirt. So by the time I get to school, I have to wash my feet and all that. Then I put on my white socks and put on my leather shoes. Because I have to look, you know, decent.
You have to look presentable.
Yes, yes, like any other student. So, So, and by doing that, I kept on building my marriage as well. So, my first year of high school, I had an accident while I was running to go to school.
Oh dear.
So, and I had to have some bruises around my knee, but now the bruise, I was hurted more inside, not even on the top. So, I got treated and all that, but it took me like a whole year
to recover,
to get well. So the whole of my Form 1 year, I didn't compete. So come the following year, in fact, I didn't even thought like I'm gonna make it out of this. So I thought like I'm done, even with my running and all that. But I thank God, because He's a God of second chances. That was 1990. Now come the year 1991, when it come to the duration of athletics, I was able to participate in the track and field, and I fared well. I was able to get to the provincial level. In fact, that's where I always used to get to Rus. And then after that, I had to go back to school. So, and after that, I just kept on looking forward the following year.
To the competitions,
you know, it is just once in a year. It's just once in a year. If you don't make it to the district level or to the national level, so that's it. So that was it. And I kept on doing that up to the provincial level, up to my 4th form. So when I was about to do my KCSE, I started worrying, like after the school, where will I get to do
what's
this?
Next for me?
What's next? And, you know, I made my mind that even if I do my KCSE, regardless of whatever grade I'm going to get, I'll just switch talk my headmaster that I can be allowed to get back to school. Maybe I do 2 more extra years. I get to Form 3, then I do Form 3, Form 4. And not because I was interested to get a better grade.
Because you wanted to run.
I just wanted to run. I just wanted to be called, you know, she's one of the teammates of that school. And it's because I didn't know that there is anywhere else I could run. And you know, just by the time I was thinking like what to do, even after school, during the holiday, I just decided that I'll be running every morning and every evening.
Wow.
Yes, because I could not stop. I just had this kind of a thirst, but I later came to run that is what we call the power of passion.
Oh, wow.
So I was so passionate about running.
You were passionate about running, and it did not matter.
Yes.
It did not matter. So what some of us people dread having to do unless we are being chased from Andamano is something that was completely ingrained and inborn in you. So now let's jump a little bit forward. So now here you are, you have finished high school. You have said that if I fail the exam, I want to go back to school, not because of the books, but because of being part of a team.
I just want to be among the two. In the long run, I remembered there was this coach that I had exchanged contact with. He came from a different town, different side of Nyeri, but he had 2 kids whom he could bring during our secondary district championships. And those kids, the girl was in grade 7. And she could afford to lap me when I was in high school. So I believe that he's a good coach.
That's definitely a good coach.
Yes, if he could make his daughter to lap me for all those laps, and I'm even much grown than his daughter, I just felt like probably he can be a good coach. What about if I send him a letter and ask him whether it is possible
for him to coach you?
Yes, to coach me. And that's how I just gotten a chance to leave my hometown, and I was taken by my dad to that other town. It's called Kehuyo. It is in Nyeri. And when I went there, my business was only one.
To run.
just run. And why I wanted even to move, it's because nobody was understanding me in my village. Everybody kind of thought like, maybe probably my family could understand me, but the rest of the villagers took me like I'm out of my mind. It's like, she's insane.
Yeah, like who just runs?
Yes.
Why is she running? What is she running away from?
Yes,
or
and then,
running to?
and to make the matter more worse is that I used to run in those wrap round. You know the rappers? Yes, and the broomer underneath. And
oh, gosh,
believe you me, and I thank God, those years, I believe there was no, the kind of evil that is all allowed. Because nobody cares. Even if I run in my rap round, probably that's why they perceive like I'm crazy. Yes. And I didn't mind. Even the nickname, I was being called Crazy Catherine. And I was okay with it. Because at the back of my mind...
I would like to wonder what the people who coined the name Crazy Catherine are thinking right now. Mwalimu wa math.
Yes, yes. Yes, they could call me even when I'm hearing, and could talk about me when I'm hearing. And, well, I didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, some of the women who are of my mom's age, they could stop me, like during the market day, and they could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning? Why should you keep on learning? And I tell them, don't worry, I'm just trying to make some ways, or looking for somehow I'm going to feed my children.
Oh, wow.
Little did I know, the Bible talks about the power of the tongue.
That is it.
The power of the tongue. And it is always good to prophesy. You know, talk good about yourself, because it will come to happen.
It will come to pass.
So whatever you confess, that's what you possess.
Still then, you were able to pursue. Now, tell me about the experience after you met the new coach. So you met the new coach, the same coach who was training the other two athletes. Yes, please.
When I met this coach, I just met him in a home. Like, you know, the way someone can visit the neighbor.
Yes.
So in that place where I met him, he was in a family that is called the Dadas. And I didn't know that is not his home. But what he said, you stay here. You know, myself, I was thinking like he has a camp.
Yeah.
So, and I came with my bucket, my mattress, my everything, you know, my
You
whole
were ready.
bag. Yes, my whole bag full of clothes. And I was like, you'll be left here. You see these two young girls, they will show you the route, like where you run in the morning and in the evening.
Yeah.
And at 10, we'll be, you know, meeting at a certain point. Then we do our program, and then you break for lunch. I said, okay. So the problem was, he has left me here. I'm not sure whether he had communicated with the family earlier.
Oh dear.
So I was left there. I didn't have a choice, so I had to stick there. And I loved those two young girls. They showed me the route. And I thank God in that you know, neighborhood, there was a lot of young girls who were doing whatever I loved to do. So we could get out of us, like 10 of us, do the learning. And there was a lot of coffee plantation. So I enjoyed running around. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I improved. I became number 3, then I became number 2. My third race, I became number 1. It was the beginning now of 1994. It was a close country. So the two ladies who kept on beating me, I beaten them with a gap, with a margin of about 2 minutes.
Wow.
So the coaches could not believe it. And they went like...
That this woman has something.
Probably she cut the course, or let's just wait until these others come, they will let us know whether she kind of cheated,
whether she passed them or whether she cheated. Oh dear.
Yeah, so when they confirmed, they said, yes, she was with us the whole way. But when we get on the hills, oh my God, she learned like she has an extra gear. And that was it. So that's how I was able to be awarded with the first prize. And the first prize was a pair of shoes. No, it was a pair of tracksuit. Number 2 was being awarded with a pair of shoes. That is now the sneakers. And like a small envelope with a couple of hundreds of whatever.
Yeah.
So, but when they talked, now my coach and the rest of the group talked, they said, this girl, she doesn't have a good shoe to run on. So why don't we switch
the prizes.
the award,
Yes.
because the shoes is going to help her
Run,
most
yeah.
than the tracksuit.
Wow.
And that's what they did. So
Wow.
they given me the sneaker. Those years, they were called Cornet.
Yes.
And I got that Cornet pair.
Somebody has agreed.
Yeah, she can relate. So I got my Cornet. It was a bit bigger than me, but it didn't matter. I had to tie the shoes very tight.
Very, very tight.
Yes,
Yeah.
that it can fit me. Now I can enjoy my shoe, my new shoe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really good. So tell me about your first experience, because you were this lovely village girl from Nyeri. Tell me about your first experience on a plane, and when you land a foreign country, and what the culture shock was like for you.
First of all, when we were to travel, I didn't believe like it's real
Yeah.
that I'm going to travel. So because I had some experiences that I was put in a team, and then when it comes to time to travel, you just get dropped from the team. So I could not even tell anyone because I didn't like those, you know, disappointments and all that. So I just chosen to keep it for myself until that time. So I believed that I am going somewhere. When I got into that flight and the doors were closed, securely.
Hawezi nishukisha sasa.
Yes.
Hawezi
Yes.
nishukisha
Siwezi
nikifika.
kutolewa.
Sitoki.
And I was like, okay, fine. So we traveled to Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea.
Yes, we were going to do this ekiden. They normally call it ekiden. It was a Korean women ekiden. We left Kenya sometime in the afternoon on a Monday.
Okay.
And we didn't make it to Seoul, Korea until early morning, Wednesday.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So we are
'Cause
talking how many days there? We are talking two days, 3 days?
I think we got in there around 3 a.m. or so. So we had to have something to eat because definitely everybody was tired and exhausted. They needed something to drink or to eat. But even the appetite wasn't there because of those hours in the air. So we looked for something to eat, but I could not find what I'm used to eat.
What is your current role right now?
Before I even get to go to Korea, I had to join the Kenya prisons in 1994 on 15th of August. So I got enrolled as a prison officer, and after 7 months, I graduated. And I graduated on 24th of February, 1995. Yes. And I got posted at Nairobi West Prison. Yes. It's a medium sentence men prison. Yes.
So now, as your role as the deputy director, which is also a role that you sit on, the deputy director
gender, NGOs and sports.
Yes, gender and NGO and sports. How have the reforms been changed that are favorable for female athletes?
Well, what I can say is that what has been changed is that the women are given the equal rights, just like the male athlete. When I started, it's like a woman athlete was looked as a lesser athlete, kind of a competitor. And it's like not of the majority were on the side of women to believe like, yes, what the men can do, a woman can do better. And for me, I believe if it is a human being who is doing whatever they are doing, I can still do it.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a lady, if there's a female athlete at home right now who's watching and they're in awe and they're as excited as we are, a female athlete, a young one, what inspiration would you give them? You know, from your humble backgrounds to so many of the hurdles and the challenges that you had to fight till where you are right now, what advice would you give them?
The advice that I would give a young athlete, female athlete, is that she should not let her background define her.
I think that's a very, very good place for us to take a small break, and then we'll be back with a question and answer session. Remember, this is a Mashujaa Day special, and we are having a one-on-one with Catherine Dereba. We're asking her questions that most people would not think of asking. So join us after the break for the question and answer session. Welcome back to the Mashujaa Day special. And our Shujaa for today is the legendary, very funny, very entertaining, very engaging Catherine Dereba. So Catherine and I have a wager going between me and her who can run faster. And she's told me hands down, even without sports shoes, even without, even without just bare feet, that she can defeat me 10-0. I mean, yeah, I believe that completely, but it's so inspiring, at the age of 51, and she can still run and she can still do things, even though she's not doing it competitively. She can still run. She still inspires young kids every day. So once again, I'm still starstruck. I'm still in awe that you're here with us. So we are here for the question and answer session, and we're going to touch on a few things that we may not have touched on in our first segment, and our wonderful audience, who are as excited as I am, have a few questions for Madam Dereba. So to start us off, we have Jackie.
Thank you very much, Ashiko, for the wonderful show that you're running about celebrating Dadas. Catherine Dereba, it's an honor to share this space with you. We celebrate you. My question is, tell us about all the international accolades that you've won. Tell us about the world record you've broken. And how do you feel about all that?
Thank you very much, Jackie. I can say that I'm grateful for your question. And all I can say is that I started having international engagements from the year 1995. As I had mentioned earlier, that my first race was in Seoul, Korea. And then after I joined college, I graduated college, I had a manager in United States of America. And from the month of May, I started doing the road racing circuit there. And later, I could do some in Europe, some in Asia. And out of that, I kind of fitted well from the distance of 5 kilometers and up to the marathon, of which the marathon came just from the year 1999. And this was out of frustrations because I was really, really looking forward to do or to represent my country in the World Cross Country, because I loved cross country with a passion. Yeah. And as much as I could try to make the team, I could not get better for it. And none of the Kenyan, could believe, or whoever is in the federation that time, didn't believe in my running style, like I can make a good athlete. And in 1999, that's when I felt like I had enough, because I tried the World Cross Country in 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, I took a break to have my daughter. 1998, I came back with the baby fat. 1999, I thought like I had the best shape, but unfortunately, I never made it. And it's at that point that I felt like I have enough of this. And when I had enough, it's when you keep on doing the same thing and you expect to have a different result, it's not possible. Yes. So that's now when I made my mind that I need to change. And I decided to go out there and do a marathon. And not because it was my favorite distance, my due, even when I was making that decision, I had only learned one half marathon in my career. And when I made that decision, it's because when I called my manager and I asked for more races during the summer, she said, no, during the spring, she said, no, Catherine, nobody has left with a budget for you. And I said, Lisa, can you do whatever you can and get something for me? When I talk of a budget, is that when you have a race that want you to run, they could, send you a ticket, and they could have a budget for you for accommodation and meals for the time that you'll be there with them, maybe for 2 or 3 nights. So my manager said, it's only the marathons that have got a budget. So that's how I made my mind history without even thinking about what to expect. And I told my manager, just book me in Boston Marathon. And lucky enough, the year before, that is 1998, around the end of the month of August, I had gotten an opportunity to run a race in Boston around where they normally have the Boston Marathon. And one of the race organizers of Boston Marathon, he said he can offer to show me the Boston race course.
Yes.
Even if I wasn't interested of running. I told me, I don't think I can ever run a marathon. Anyway, now because it was just a free trip, you know, I just wanted to see the town. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And now when it came to 1999 and I'm looking for a race and there was like nothing left for me, I just decided that I'm going to go to Boston. Little did I know what I'm, you know,
What was
going
in
to
store
face.
for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did my training. I was feeling like I had enough speed, I had enough mileage and all that. But you see, the 10 kilometers that I used to run, it was very good to do it and easy to do it. But for the marathon, I didn't know it's something that you need to do a lot of calculations. And, you know, to get to run a marathon, you have to have enough mileage in store. With the kind of training I had already done one long run up to 1 hour, 35 minutes. And guess what? The marathon, you cannot do it under 2 hours. It's only Kipchoge can do that. Yeah. So I just decided I'm going to do the Boston Marathon. And when I went there, my goal was to finish the race in 2 hours and 33 minutes. When I could do my calculations, I could see maybe if I try so much, maybe 2 hours and 30. So I was telling, at the back of my mind, I used to tell myself that, okay, I have the training up to the half of the race, I know I'm comfortable. So the rest, I'll just try to play around, you know. And you know why I decided I'm going to go for the marathon? It's because I got so much criticized with my running style. Like, you know, she cannot be a good runner in cross country because her feet just go, she has a very low step. And it's like, oh my God, at my village, I'm a crazy Catherine. When it comes to cross country, when it comes to cross country, she just have a raw feet. So what am I going to do? But that didn't even bother me because with my raw step, I had already won several road races, 5 kilometers, you know, 4 miles, you know, I had even won 16 kilometers. So that was not a problem for me. But at 40 kilometers, may I tell you something? I felt like I have enough of this and I had to stop. So when I went to go to, as I was about to stop, there was this guy from Kenya, I didn't know his name then, and he was the former champion of Boston Marathon. His name is Moses Tanui. And I owe a lot of respect to Moses because if it were not for his cheering, I don't think I could ever get to finish my first marathon. I could be a DNF. And he kept on yelling at me like, Dereba, don't stop, Dereba, don't stop. And I was like, is he crazy? He's seated down on the other side of the road, yet he doesn't want me to stop. And I was like, what was this kind of hell? And anyway, I just decided if I'm not going to stop then, I had already passed my 40-kilometer water. So I had to walk back, get my bottle, have a sip, and then I started again.
And I'm tired.
I was so tired. Not even tired, I was like dead. Because of the lactic acid. You know, the minute you dare to stop, it just gets you like, I don't know. Even to lift my legs, I was feeling like I'm lifting like 10 kgs on my legs. So at some point I said, well, I don't need to lift my legs so hard because it seems I can fry. I don't know what is happening here. So little did I know I was suffering what we call dehydration. And I went slowly enough to finish. And thank God I made it in that time. I told you 2 hours, 28 minutes.
And even then you were still number 6.
Yes, I was a number 6. I was number 2. When I was stopping, I was number 2. I looked back like this, and I could see number 3 way far. So I started calling the number 3, like, don't worry about me. Just come and pass.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
So I tried. Number 5, she just passed me on the finish line. Like, I didn't have that energy to lift my leg to go like before her.
Yeah,
I could see her getting from behind and go like, and then she just passed before me. But for me, it was none of my business.
It was a victory.
After the finish line, I had to be lifted by a wheelchair. I could not walk. I was all done. Like,
oh my, you had given it your all.
Yes, I could not walk, I could not do anything. I was like dying. And let me tell you something, that didn't make me even feel like I'll never do it again. So I was taken to the recovery room, and when I got there, I found a couple of Kenyans. And there was this guy, gentleman, and may his soul rest in peace. He passed sometime early this year, or a couple of months. And his name was Joseph Chebet. He was the winner of that race that day. Yeah. I found him on the floor. Yeah. He was rolling. He was actually rolling like this. And he was going like, oh, mama, oh, mama. Now I didn't know what is all this about. And when I asked, they said, he's the winner. I was like, wait.
Oh, my word.
He is the winner. And he's rolling on the floor. I was number 6, and I was carried with a wheelchair. Okay, that's fine.
This is what you're signing up for.
Yes. So, at the same time, I learned something. And I learned that the winner, and even that person who finished the rest, all of them normally go through some pains. So, it only depends on the perseverance and the levels of your perseverance.
That is true, yeah.
That was the lesson that I came out with from that race. And come that very night, I talked of being dehydrated. I was kept in a room so that I can be able to give a sample for doping test for 4 hours. I could not go to the bathroom.
You could not be able to have anything.
Yes, regardless of how much water I took, I could not go to the bathroom.
Oh dear.
I was totally dehydrated. And I could even ask them, give me some coffee, give me some tea, you know, just to make it come faster. But
nothing happened.
I couldn't go. So out of that very night when I went to sleep, at around 3 a.m., I was awake. And I felt this strong voice in my mind that was telling me, Catherine, even if you do this race tomorrow, you won't be number 6. You'll be among the podium.
Oh, wow. That's excellent.
And I believed that. So when I woke up in the morning, we went for breakfast. My coach came and he asked me, I could see, you know, some of the competitors when they were going downstairs, because we were having our breakfast, it was like ground floor. So people were walking like this, and they cannot be able to walk, you know, the way you normally go down the staircase. They were going backward, you know. Why? Because their quads was hurting so badly. When you learn on a hilly and downhill course, it kills your quads. So they had a lot of pains on their quads and the hamstrings. So I didn't experience that. Though I had the soreness in my whole body, I didn't experience that crazy pain. I could walk my stairs just like normal, but I could walk very slowly because I was feeling my back like it's so weak. So I could not walk very fast. So for those who have kids, probably you have kids, when I had my daughter, I could not be able to walk very fast because I was feeling like my back is so soft that I could even turn like this. Yeah, that's how I felt. So I could just remember and I could just relate it with that time.
Yeah.
So now my coach threw a question to me and he said, Catherine, I just want one answer from you. Will you ever do a marathon again? I told him, yes, why not? And he said, he just shook his head and then he said, I didn't expect such an answer from you.
And so you did. And
Yes.
then and the next one you won. So
The
tell us about
next
that.
one, the next one, I had to go and do the New York Fall Marathon. I trained. I kept on, like improving my training, I adjusted where I felt that I need to adjust, and especially on my mileage. If it were not for the fear of the unknown, I could have won the New York Marathon for the first time in 1999, of which I didn't. I became number 2.
Yeah.
And that was very good enough for me because I improved my time
Yeah.
with almost a minute. So come the year 2000, I came back home. I did my training as usual. I participated in the prison championship cross country and the national cross country. Then I went to Boston, and the rest is history because I crossed the finish line being number 1.
So how many Boston, a round of applause, guys. So how many Boston marathon? We've gotten to know the meat, but it is so important, and I love how Catherine has not skipped over the hardship. She's not skipped over the time that she lost. She has actually taken pains to get into details on the hardship that came before the victory. And I think it's testament, and so many people can draw on that nothing comes easily, nothing comes for free. So how many Boston marathons have you won?
Well, I have won 4 Bostons.
Yes.
And I have one number 2, I have a 1 DNF, and I have a 1 number 6.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have a DNF in the middle of being the person who also won. Yes. That's a story you'll tell me when we are just the two of us later on, when we are racing. And then you need to explain to me how you have a DNF and 3 number 1s. You'll tell me about it later. So on top of the Boston Marathon, you have 4 wins in Boston Marathon, and then after that you have which other win is there?
I have won Chicago Marathon 2000 and 2001.
Yeah.
And I also have number 2 in Chicago.
Yeah.
And in the year 2001, I did the world record.
Yes.
So I ran in 2 hours, 18 minutes and 47 seconds.
Wow.
And
so what was the world record before that? Because you're saying you did 2 hours, 18 minutes, 47 seconds it was?
Yes, the world record was 2:19:46 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it only lasted for 7 days. Yes.
I wish people can be able to pick up on how humorous Catherine is, because here we are looking at you may be in the sun for 10 minutes or you may be in the sun for 10 days. So it lasted you for 7 days, all of 7 days.
For 7 days,
Yes.
it was broken. Before, the time was, the record was owned by Tekla Lelupe.
Yes.
So as I set my eyes on the record,
Yeah.
somebody else somewhere
Was
had
sitting there,
also
eyes
on the record. And what I believe is that records are there to be broken.
They are. Yeah.
They are there to be broken. So this girl chanced to go to run in Bahrain.
Yeah.
And Bahrain used to happen just a week before the Chicago Marathon.
Yes.
So she did the 280, she broke the 219 barrier, the 220 barrier, and myself, I broken the 219 barrier.
Wow.
Yes.
And that happened continuously. Now, Catherine, you're not one who's your accolade. So just for our viewers who are joining us, I want to go through quickly. So she has been the 4-time Boston Marathon winner in 2000, 2001, 2004, 2005, 2-time Chicago Marathon winner in 2000, where she broke the world record for 1 week, which was 2 hours, 18 minutes, 47 seconds. And she has been a 2-time world marathon champion in 2003, gold and a silver medalist in 2005. She's also been the 2-time Olympic silver medalist in 2004, 2005. Those are the global accolades. What are some of the local accolades that you've been able to receive? You know, part of the reason why you are our Mashujaa today.
In the year 2001, December, I got honored by His Excellency President Daniel Arap Moi with the Distinguished Service Medal, that is DSM.
DSM, yes.
Yes, and in the year 2005, I got honored by His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki by Order of the Great Warrior, that is OGW. And in the year 2020, I got honored by His Excellency, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, with the Medal of Moran of the Burning Spear.
Wow.
That is MBS. Yes.
And currently you have been, oh yeah, round of applause. And part of the reason why she's here is because you have been nominated. You have been selected to be Mashujaa by the National Council
Of Hills.
Yes, of Heroes.
Yes.
We're going to move very fast through the next two questions.
Thank you very much, Madam Ashiko. My name is Elfas Mzito, and my question goes directly to our Mashujaa here today. How did you manage to balance your family lifestyle together with your career?
I married my friend, and he acted as my training partner.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I can call him a blessing.
Oh, wow.
And he has been my support. Whenever I'm doing all that, he could take me for lunch. And even when I'm so tired, he could take care of our daughter.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any issues with that. So, and at the same time, we both work in the Kenya prisons. Though at some point, he decided to take a different course. So today he's flying the helicopter. So yes, everybody has got their own lives and, you know, run experiences. The way I could run and get to that level, he also now do his own.
Yeah.
Yes, because he got to a point and he felt like, I can't do this anymore. Let me just try something else. Yes.
The point is an adequate support system, someone who believes in you. So I think that cuts across to so many people. For you to be able to have a perfect work-life balance, especially if you have to travel across the country, you've got children, you're all over the place, I think it's important for the people in your life to support what you are doing and to understand and to have a shared vision. So ladies and gentlemen, sadly we have come to the end of this show. I actually wish this show was so much longer. There's so much I would want to talk about with Catherine, and I would want to engage and interact. It's only so often that you get an opportunity to sit down with a proper and the truest Mashujaa ever. So we have come to the end of this episode, and my takeaway is very simple. I mean, what entails your inspiration? What inspires you? What pushes you forward? And as you ask yourself, as we celebrate Mashujaa Day and we talk about what it takes, what it means to be a Shujaa, are you yourself a Shujaa? Are you setting an example for people? Are you selfless? Are you, can you sacrifice? Can you keep true to your cause? Do you have integrity? And that is the spirit of our Mashujaa Day here at Dadas Show. So on behalf of the team at KBC and my location partner, Best Western Hotel, Upper Hill, myself, Ashiko Mbune, Catherine Dereba, guys, my wonderful audience, I wish you all a fantastic week, and I'll catch you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.